Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about a band called The Bears. You know that band that everyone talked about because Adrian Belew was a member of the band. Incredible talent Adrian Belew was. But The Bears was so much more than Adrian Belew. And that's what I'm going to cover here. I'm going to cover that band and kind of most of the things related to them. Now, this is going to get a little confusing, so I hope I'm going to do the band justice because The Bears and all the artists related, truly amazing musicians and songwriters. Now, let's start with The Bears. Wait. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back all the way to 1983 and a band called The Raisins. And this is their debut album. This album came out in 1983. The band featured guitarist, vocalist Rob Fetters, and bass player, vocalist Bob Neiswanger, drummer, vocalist Bam Powell, and keyboardist Rick Naheisel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure. I never get those names right. This is an album produced by Adrian Belew. Now, Adrian Belew was producing cool albums at the time. He also produced the second Elvis Brothers album. But the Raisins, I've read a lot. Oh, they're power pop. No, it is hard to describe any of the albums that I'm going to talk about because there are elements of power pop. There's elements of, Beatlesque, even the Psych Beatles, but there's elements of Psych. There's elements of experimental. There's even like little bits of funk and soul, and there's so much, but it's all happening at the same time. And I think if you walk in and you're thinking like, oh, nice little power pop band, you're going to be a little confused at first, but you're going to be amazed by just what these guys do. They're great musicians, but they take the basic pop rock formula and throw it out the window, and they do things their way. And the songs are very unique. Sometimes it takes a couple listens for the hooks to sink in, but ultimately, it's just a great payoff. Now, like I said, the album came out in 83. The CD came out 10 years later, and they added 3 bonus tracks to it. And there is that. This is The Raisins. Now, of course, my heart hurts because there's a 4 CD compilation out there that features, a bunch of live material and I think some other studio stuff, and I can't afford that. So I'm going to have to be happy with the self-titled album by The Raisins. Now, I think before these tracks were recorded, they had drummer Chris Arducer, who also sang and wrote and played a bunch of other instruments, but he's not on the album, unless he appears on the 3 bonus tracks that are added. But the band split up, and Rob Fetters, Bob Neiswanger, and Chris Arducer joined forces with their producer, Adrian Belew, for The Bears. And their debut album came out in 1987. And if you thought The Raisins were a creative, exciting unit, adding Adrian Belew to the mix, maybe in their head they thought that they were making Rubber Soul or Revolver or whatever, but it comes out so absolutely unique, and it could be weird at times, but it's always creative. It's always challenging you, because there's so many layers going on, because every musician extremely talented, and this is just a great collection of songs. They actually do a song Fear Is Never Boring, which was also on the first Raisins album. But just to hear, all these voices together and to add Adrian Belew to that mix, it just really brought out the songs even more. As much as I like the Raisin stuff, this stuff is even better. Unique, eclectic, eccentric, just really a fantastic record. Not a straightforward pop band by any means. It's just a really wonderful album. Now, a year later, they came back with Rise and Shine, another fine platter filled with great, unique songs, but still, they weren't playing it like everybody else. In fact, I think this might even be a better album than the self-titled. But it just depends on what day. Today, I'm thinking it's a little bit better album, but still, both of them entirely unique. They were all working together, even though Fetters, Neiswanger, and Arducer had worked together before. Adding Belew to the mix created a different chemistry, maybe even more flammable. Still a lot of great songs on Rise and Shine. But the band never really caught on as much as the critics loved them and as much as the fans loved them. I think they left IRS and then they went their separate ways. Now, of course, everybody knows that Adrian Belew, he had already been in King Crimson and had put out some solo stuff. But his solo material afterwards, now I'm not going to get into it, that's a whole nother video to cover Adrian Belew. But like his poppiest albums, his next 3 albums after The Bears are just really just wonderful pop treats. Very unique, very distinct. He's got a great pop voice. That's the thing. He's a great guitar player, but man, he can write pop songs. This right here, Inner Revolution, is my favorite of his albums, and you got to check out the song Big Blue Sun. It sounds like it could be ELO. Now, Chris Arducer, actually from The Bears, plays on this album, but I don't think he plays on these. Most of the instruments on Adrian's albums were handled by him, and he's got many more albums than this. Like I said, that's another video for another day. Now, what happened to Rob Fetters, Bob Neiswanger, and Chris Arducer? Well, they stayed together, and they formed a band called Psychodots. And they put out their first album in 1991. And again, this is these three great singer-songwriter musicians creating something extremely unique. You know, I've read online, Cincinnati, Ohio's Power Pop Kings or something like that. It's like, this isn't power pop. It's got elements of power pop. It's certainly powerful, but it's just entirely unique. Great songs, great harmonies, but something out of this world different. Now, there are some great pop songs there, but they push the limits and they take you to places that you didn't know you wanted to go, but you're happy you went there. Then they released another album in 1993 called On the Grid, another fine collection of great skewered pop songs, eccentric, eclectic, wonderful. They came back with their third album called Awkwardsville in 1995, another fine collection of songs. Now, in 1998, Psychodots released a live album. And as most people who watch my channel know, I'm not a big fan of live albums. So I haven't really bought that. Let's put it that way. But that same year, Rob Fetters released his first solo album called Lefty Loose and Righty Tight. It's a little less eccentric, but still very original. Like I said, in their mind, they could be writing these, simple pop songs. But because these guys are so talented, their songs are way more sophisticated and just a pure delight to listen to. And that's a wonderful little platter. Well, the three members of Psychodots and Adrian Belew got back together as the Bears again, and they released an album called Car Caught Fire. Another wonderful collection of songs. In fact, I actually prefer this over the first two albums, because those first two albums, as great as they are, it is 80s type production. This is a little bit more warm and earthy, and it's great to hear that interaction in this, much more modern production. But it's a really wonderful album. Car Caught Fire came out in 2001. Now, in 2002, the Bears released a live album called Live. But again, I don't own it because I usually don't buy live albums. But I do wish that I had picked it up. But let's head forward to 2005. Psychodots returned with yet another album, and that is called Terminal Boulevard. And this is another fine collection of songs by these guys. But this isn't the only thing that came out in 2005, because out came Rob Fetters' second solo album called Musician. This is a huge step forward from his first solo album. If you love his stuff on the Psychodots and Bears albums, then this is just more of it. Super creative. The songs have a lot of dynamics, great melodies, great hooks. Definitely check out Rob Fetters' Musician from 2005. Now, that was it, by the way, for Psychodots. Terminal Boulevard is the last album released by the band. Fetters continued to solo career, but before he continued, the Bears came back yet again for an album called Eureka in 2007. Another great collection of songs. It's just so amazing how these guys work so well together, still taking music to the next level and being very, very creative. And this was yet another great album by the Bears. But that's it with the Bears. They have not released another album since then, but those four albums are just absolutely amazing. Now, it took several years before Rob Fetters returned with yet another solo album called Saint Ain't. And that came out in 2014. And this is just incredible. Just like the album Musician, it just shows a very unique singer-songwriter. In 2020, he came out with another album called Shipshake. And Rob Fetters, just absolutely wonderful. And last year, 2023, out came the album Mother, another Rob Fetters solo album. Now, unfortunately, in 2023, towards the end of the year, we lost Chris Arducer. But his memory lives on in all this music. But he certainly left his mark with a great recorded legacy. So there you have it. You had the Raisins, the Bears, Psychodots, Rob Fetters. Now, there were still a few things that I don't have, like I don't have the Bob Neiswanger solo album. I'll eventually get that. And like I said, there's a 4-CD Raisins collection that I need to track down. It gets so hard and expensive to be a CD junkie. But you know what? I'm not going to make you wait and go out and search and see what all this stuff sounds like. I'm going to play a medley for you. And originally, I was taking 2 songs from every album that I just talked about, but I figured not a lot of people are going to want to sit through 12 or 15 minute medley, and that's how long it was getting. So I had to go back and I had to choose just one song from each of the studio albums that I talked about. I'm going to present this to you now. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope it inspires you to check the band out. But right now, sit back, relax, give this a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
circus, you're gonna step in some shit. I'm a clown. I'm a clown. My life's tragedy. You won't ever see. I'm a clown. Hurts people don't understand. start of something new. This place could use a lot of love. There must be something we could do. If we wanted to. Get ready. Pay attention, stupid. Get ready. It's time for you to learn. Tomorrow you can save the world. But she says, first of all, here and now, you gotta save me. 'Cause you're not ready. For what she's got to give. No, you ain't ready. Yeah, we're ready. For what she's got to give.
Well, that's it. I hope this inspires you to check out The Raisins, The Bears, Psychodots, Rob Fetters. Incredible music from incredible musicians. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. Hold on, it's not over. Newsflash, I just got a Facebook notification from a Facebook friend, Mark Friedlander, making me aware of a forthcoming Raisins reunion show happening, it looks like March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the Woodward Theater in Cincinnati, and all 3 nights are sold out. Thank you, Mark, for letting me know, and thank you for watching this video.